Well, the funeral for Trye Nichols is today in Memphis. He is the black man who died at the hands of police officers on January 7th. He was 29 years old.
And today there will be vigils all across the country, including here in Southwest Florida. So we start our team coverage with Scripps News reporter Jamal Andres, who says the Nichols family is calling for more police accountability.
The fallout from Trye Nichols' death has been swift.
We continue to pursue every lead. Justice demands it.
5 Memphis police officers fired and charged with second-degree murder. 2 EMTs and a lieutenant terminated from the Memphis Fire Department, and several others under investigation.
We are looking at everybody who had any kind of involvement in this incident. It's going to take some time as we do that investigation, but I assure you the investigation is ongoing.
As Trye Nichols sat leaned up against a car, bruised and bloody, there were more than a dozen people on the scene. Some are calling for those other officials to face discipline and even charges.
I think that a lot of probing questions need to be asked about even what led up to the circumstances that allowed for this to happen.
Walter Katz has made a career reforming and overseeing police departments, co-negotiating the consent decree for the Chicago PD, and working as a police auditor in San Jose, California.
The other first responders on the scene not only had a policy obligation to render aid, but at the very core, they had a moral obligation, and they failed.
In addition to the 5 officers who have been fired and criminally charged, Memphis police put 2 more officers on administrative leave. Officer Preston Hemphill is one of those officers. The video showing Nichols pulled from his car and pepper sprayed comes from Hemphill's body camera. Hemphill's attorney says he was never at the second scene where officers kicked and punched Nichols while he was handcuffed. For the officers and EMTs who were at the second scene but didn't participate in the beating, Katz says criminal charges are not off the table. But Katz does expect to see more terminations as the investigations continue.
I'd honestly be surprised if anyone who was on scene who failed to intervene or failed to render aid will be staying with their department for a long time.
While inaction may not warrant criminal charges in all circumstances, the Memphis Police Manual specifically calls for a duty to intervene by officers. It also requires police to provide medical aid to injured parties as quickly as possible following any law enforcement action.
And Southwest Florida Congressman Byron Donalds has weighed in on the Nichols arrest. Congressman Byron Donalds represents parts of Lee and Collier counties. He tweeted this: "The actions of these officers are the antithesis of the mission of our law enforcement community to protect and serve, and bring great shame to the countless officers who value this commitment to service."
Also here in Southwest Florida, people will come together today so that way they can stand for justice as they mourn Nichols' life.
A group of advocates in Fort Myers organized a candlelight vigil in the downtown area. It's where Fox 4's Alexandra Rangel is live with how these people are responding.
The story of Trye Nichols is one that has touched many across the world, including the community right here in Southwest Florida. Later this evening, this courtyard right here at the downtown library will be filled with candles and people standing together for social justice. We spoke to one of the organizers of the vigil who tells us right now is the time to show up and stand in solidarity with the family of Trye Nichols.
Of course, we aren't related to Trye Nichols. We aren't related to George Floyd by blood. However, there is a collective mourning for the lives of Black men, in particular, when it comes to police brutality. This is an appropriate time to mourn with those who are mourning and to stand with those who are standing.
The Fort Myers Police Department put out a statement about Trye Nichols' death. The department says they are committed to policing in a constitutional and professional manner that protects the rights of all. They also said that they will continue to work with protesters to keep the community safe and urge anyone who wants to exercise their rights to do so peacefully. The Life of Trye Nichols vigil starts at 6 this evening. People will start gathering at 5:30 here at the downtown Fort Myers Library Green Space at 2450 First Street. Fox 4 will be here, and we will have live coverage throughout the day, so be sure to stick with us. For now, live in downtown Fort Myers, Alexandra Rangel, Fox 4.